like it.
Morning.
I can't get behind this situation.
I just really like annoying him. I don't know why. Brings me joy. But anyway, morning. Another day, another real world test. Today, we're doing it on the iPhone 12 mini. Apple's new teeny tiny phone, but has the same specs as, their higher end versions, unlike the SE that we've come to know. Now in today's video, we're gonna check in on the battery throughout the day. My SIM card is in here. I'm using it as my regular phone. We're also gonna take photos on it and some of its competitors and see how it does up on the screen. But first things first, I need coffee.
Nearly 60 years of experience.
It smells so good in here. Coffee, check. And real quick, let's talk about the big deal with this phone, its size. It is tiny. Well, tiny by today's standards anyway. And even though it has a larger 5.4 inch screen compared to the 4.7 inch one, it's even smaller than the iPhone SE that was released back in April. But unlike the SE, which was marketed as a budget iPhone at $400, this is not that. The 12 mini is $700 and $730 technically if you buy it unlocked. But it has the same OLED display as all the other iPhone 12s, even up to the $1,100 max. The 12 mini and the 12 have slightly lower display brightness in normal settings. Once you watch HDR content on the phones, though, they all bump it up to the same 1200 nits regardless. We also have the same cameras as the $1,000 Pro, just missing the telephoto camera and the LiDAR sensor, which, if you've seen my other videos, I didn't really see it do much in my testing, but there's that. And we have the same water resistance, MagSafe charging, 5G, etc.
I have not been inside here for 25 years.
This is just like Preston's, the marine store where I worked, except on steroids. And the perfect amount of less organized. You guys go ahead. I'm going to spend the rest of the trip in here.
In case you couldn't tell, we're not in New York City. We're about a 3-hour drive away from there in a town called Mystic in Connecticut. And now we're here because Fisher recommended it, and apparently he's been here a bunch of times as a kid. And I'm starting to understand why. Even in the short time I've been here, it feels very much like almost a nautical themed town. And if you guys don't know, Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile, buddy of mine, he's very fond of the boats. Regardless, Fisher, myself, and our other buddy, Andrew Martinick at Digital Trends, decided to kind of use this as a nice backdrop to test out our Mini and our Max. Speaking of nautically themed, Fisher has brought us to the Mystic Seaport Museum, which for a very long time actually was a shipyard where over 600 vessels or something like that were built from 1784 to 1919, which was kind of like the golden age of maritime business here in the United States. Eventually, though, combustion killed the town and steamboats and railroads kind of took over the industry. But 3 gentlemen in 1929 actually turned this area into what is now known as the Mystic Seaport Museum. And it's comprised of over 60 historic buildings that were renovated or brought over here that you can walk through and kind of see what it was like to be in this town in the 19th century. We also have the Charles W. Morgan, which is the last surviving wooden whaling ship.
Cheers, sir.
To mystical affairs.
There we go.
Cheers, bud.
It's the last time I'm coming out of this chair.
So we found a really cool vineyard out here that apparently in the 1930s was an airfield and through World War II, and even has the World War II style hangar still here. Okay, while we're here, let's check in on the battery, because we haven't done that yet today. It is 3:27 p.m. and we are at 55%.
Cheers.
Nice.
All right, calling it a night. It is 12:07 a.m. and we are at 5%. And here is my screen on time and my usage for anyone who's curious about that. As far as battery life is concerned, I would say it's not bad. It's definitely not as good though as like the 12 Pro, for example, or even the 12 for that matter, which makes a lot of sense though, considering how small it is and how small the battery is. So don't expect it to last as long as any of those, but it's not bad. And honestly, I feel like this just kind of fills a gap, right? There's a lot of people that want a small iPhone, but don't necessarily want a budget small iPhone, right? So like the SE compared to this, you know, maybe you want all of the latest features. You want the nicest camera, you want the Qi charging and the MagSafe and all that other stuff. You just want it in a smaller package, then you don't really have another option if you're only looking at iPhones. It's just this. Now I will admit, I am usually someone who likes larger devices, and I liked this phone. I like that I don't have to think about using it with one hand. It fits very easily in any pocket. It's a refreshing thing to have a smaller phone, especially when most of it is still screen. I still don't feel like I'm missing out too much from the larger phones, but we'll see. Next video is going to be the iPhone Pro Max. So, subscribe if you're interested in looking at that. But let me know what you guys think of this phone, of this video in the comments below. Always appreciate hearing from you guys. And if you like this video, please thumbs up it or share it. It's greatly appreciated. Also check out the rest of the channel. If you like what you see there, please subscribe and ding the bell next to it, subscribe so you get notified when I do new videos. As always though, regardless, thanks for watching.